Hi Leute und willkommen zurück mit dem Let's Play in Greedfall. Wir werden dieses Spiel jetzt hier durchschlagen. Ob ich will oder nicht, eher nicht. Wir sind jetzt hier in der Wasserprüfung dran.
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed, and there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Ach, die anderen dürfen dabei sein? Ich habe gedacht, die dürfen nicht dabei sein. Das ist ja eigentlich eine Prüfung, die nicht begeht.
These beasts are feeding on that carcass. If only we could pour some sleeping potion on it.
Soll ich jetzt einfach kämpfen oder was?
You did it. They're sleeping. We should be able to pass without a fight.
Das war jetzt irgendwie strange. Also gibt es zwei Wege. Über den Link. Wenn wir können.
Watch out, Anadai!
Look at the basin and the symbols around it. Given the islanders' taste for rituals and enigmas, I think you should touch the water.
You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin spoke to you. No.
Yes. Exactly like the lightning-struck tree. I was something else for a brief moment.
Tell us. Visions like this are guides, keys for the sacred rituals.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me, and suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it is supposed... This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. Here. This looks like a snowflake. Snow, or this drawing looks like an infant. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain. On this stone, the sun is visible. This stone bears the image of a storm. Or perhaps the wind.
Wind?
I must have lit the candles in the wrong order.
Ach. Wind. Danach hat sie gesagt, es ist von sonnig, ne? Dann fiel sie zu Boden. Das ist Wasser. Das ist Leben, sowas. Feuer, Feuer. Kann das sein?
Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle.
Okay, dann machen wir vorne. Wind. Eis. Sonnig. Danach fiel sie zu Boden. Nee, Rauschen hat sie gesagt, ne? Okay. Dann haben wir es schon. Der hat jetzt nur ein Eigen aufgeploppt. Was war das denn jetzt genau? Zähmen? Ah, guck, ich habe jetzt gedacht, da kommt jetzt irgendeine Sequenz dazwischen. Kam aber nicht. Oh, guck mal. Malerei.
This must be the seal that Glendan spoke about. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tir Fredi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einon Mil Frichtemann.
Okay, wir haben anscheinend die Prüfung mehr oder minder bestanden. Den Rätselslösung habe ich dann auch gleich mitgegeben.
Bertir to Mad on Olmanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tir Fredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You sent the beasts into a deep sleep. That was very clever. Another before you did the same. In choosing the path of silence, you avoided confronting the Dosantats. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of ruse and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Enon Mil Frichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warned you. Your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince him as well. Where can I find him?
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Deirdre, Blacknid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
Wie, jetzt möchte ich jetzt alle besuchen,
My
oder was?
mother, alas, can tell us nothing more.
Yes, I heard about your loss, Siora. And divorced Tirce. Mourning is a difficult time to pass.
And divorced Tirce. Thank you, Glendan.
Deirdre is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I have already met her. She sent me to confront a guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Marl of the village of
Okay,
Vigna.
das
It
brauche
is
ich mir
said
jetzt, ja.
that he is the chief.
Very well. I will go and see them.
Qua'awalam said.
Wasserdicht. Okay. Stranger Erfolg. Jetzt wollen wir mal Schutz auf der... Hä? Bricht mich zu Konstantin? Der wäre doch genau hier, oder wie jetzt? Ach nee, ich muss erst mit meinen Vettern reden, dann muss ich mit allen anderen einzeln reden. Was für eine Hin- und Herreiserei. Okay, bis dann. So, jetzt haben wir eine neue Serena bei Konstantin, die ja
Lieutenant,
gerade
I
eine Gruppe...
demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on.
Keine Ahnung.
We haven't heard anything about Lord Dorsey's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then all of a sudden one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
Keine
This
Ahnung.
soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord Dorsey has been attacked.
He believes. He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes,
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events. But know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
Jetzt krieg ich auch noch eine Zwischensequenz da reingeknallt.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By Islander, do you mean the Donegad that came to treat his affliction?
Yes, a strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, milady. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path, rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Why didn't you go and look for yourself? To see if they had been buried by a rock slide?
What? Alone? What could I have done? It seemed of greater urgency to go and get help.
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice or intelligence got the best of you. But that's a question for your superiors. My cousin was quite weak. Do you know why he decided to follow the Donegad?
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was drinking must have been potent. I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that islander had the high ground in the War of Wits. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of an explanation for the expedition, but your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick as we could make ready.
That sounds like him. What sort of mess has he gotten himself into again?
I am sorry, milady, but I don't know anything else I could tell you.
Do you know precisely where the company was when you heard these sounds?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. The islander said...
Dismissed, soldier.
Thank you, milady.
Okay, dann gucken wir uns erstmal nach unserem Vetter um. Das kann ja nicht so weit weg sein, muss ja hier direkt in der Nähe sein. Da hoch.
This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope that Onegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the area. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what happened here. The tents are lacerated by what looks like claws. And there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and animals were amongst the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of the presence of Constantine or Katasak. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks.
Gut, gehen wir die Spuren nach.
This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the area and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Katasak and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinolmenawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Katasak wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. But there are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly to the end. Neither Constantine nor Katasak are amongst them. A crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Katasak have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? Constantine and Katasak must have been visiting this place, perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened and many fell during the fight, but a group escaped down this path. We need to continue following their tracks.
Soll ich jetzt hier im Kreis laufen oder was? Ah, gut. Laufen wir im Kreis. Ich habe gedacht, die sind jetzt da die Tür rein.
More tracks. Footprints. The ones who got away fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been
aber schwache Gegner.
More signs of an explosion. Can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions.
Auf der Suche nach unserem Cousin.
It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only corpses of our own men. Where could these other soldiers have come from? More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them?
Haben die denn hier gegen welche Tiere haben die denn hier gekämpft? Ich habe noch gar nicht gesehen. gibt's doch hier nicht zu erkunden.
There are footprints. Only a handful made it up here.
Ach, das war jetzt sogar noch mal was anderes.
The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Catisac.
Doch hier immer diese komischen Rinder.
I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see.
Ihr habt sicherlich schon gemerkt, dass ich einige Folgen jetzt zusammengeschnitten habe. Das liegt einfach an Death Stranding. Ich will das Thematik hier durchhaben. Deswegen werde ich jetzt ein paar Folgen zusammenziehen.
Taken over by the Coin Guard. They could well have decided to finish what they had planned in New Serene. Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantine and Catisac definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual. But they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Catisac.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegat. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he can now apply leverage to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. Regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. Perhaps we could return to Wenxavier in order to learn more. Catisac may have returned there. His Voglendyke might be able to tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit their outpost. Their soldiers participated in the combat. Or at least the end of it. They must have some stories to tell us.
And you think that they would have taken Constantine? Is that possible? Maybe he was in need of treatment. But if you suspect them to have participated in the combat to capture him, I think you're wasting your time. I know the captain of that outpost. A pessimistic man who would never order an attack without being absolutely certain of total victory without losses.
Perhaps. Unless he was simply obeying orders. It does belong to the Coin Guard, after all. However, one way or another, Constantine is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.
Ja, da war ich schon mal. Da gehen wir jetzt auch direkt hin. Jetzt müssen wir nur noch diesen kleinen Passpfad finden. Hier haben wir das große Lager. Mal gucken, was die wissen.
Colonials? You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere. To whom do I owe the honor?
Desardet. I am legate of the Congregation of Merchants on this island.
A legate? Here? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many official sorts around here. I am Captain Idris, of the Coin Guard. I am the ranking officer in charge of this outpost. What can I do for you, milady?
I am looking for Constantine d'Orsay, the island governor of the Congregation of Merchants.
A governor? Here? Whatever would he be doing in this rat hole?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were attacked. They nearly all died. But we found no trace of his body, which has us hoping that he may still be alive, wounded and holding up somewhere, or even captured.
Have you cast your suspicions in our direction? I hope this is a joke. We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. In my book, we've been totally forgotten. I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's camp. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency, but we haven't seen him. And we definitely haven't kidnapped him. The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless. You should be looking in their direction.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the garrison up there, don't you?
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note, signed by your hand.
And they are dead. I had hoped they'd have survived and would eventually return.
Explain yourself, Captain. What were your men doing on the cliff top?
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop movements. We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. We decided to take initiative and be ready. Yesterday, we heard screams and saw some strange lights up there. But I was hoping...
And you didn't go and see for yourself? You hear screams, certainly those of your own men, and you don't do anything.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing as well? You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me, I'm taking no more unnecessary risks.
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from me?
Captain, my name is Afra. You might remember me. I passed by this outpost with my fellow scholars.
The Lost Expedition. Yes, I remember.
Her Excellency was able to extract us from the situation we found ourselves in.
Her Excellency has powers that I do not possess.
I'm casting no stones at you. You are isolated and without resources, and understandably a bit angry. You have the feeling that the powerful of this world have abandoned you, and you want to make them pay. But a life hangs in the balance. We must save him.
You were right. I will tell you everything I know. One of the men I posted there returned during the night.
A survivor? Excellent. Did he tell you what happened?
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed unconscious 2 steps past the doorway. Our nurse sits with him, but there is little hope that he will come back to himself. His wounds are extremely serious. He's just refusing to die.
I am sorry to hear that, Captain. Perhaps we could do something for him.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps you can do something to help the poor boy. I can't take it anymore. To lose another man. Anything else?
I need to be going.
I would very much...
Ist der Krankenschwester, wo ist sie denn hier? Oh, oben.
What are you doing there? This is an infirmary.
I know.
Ach nee, echt?
I've come to see the wounded soldier. The captain told me you might need my help.
That is very kind of him. But alas, it's a little late.
What are you saying? Is the soldier...
No, he still lives. But I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to replenish my stocks. I no longer have a single remedy. And now that we have a wounded patient, I can only wipe water on his brow and hope.
Do you know what type of remedy would allow him to survive?
Yes, at least I think so. It's a known potion that heals burns.
I see. Give me the recipe. We'll go and see that it's prepared for you.
Thank you. Because of you, this poor boy might be able to survive his wounds.
Hab ich nichts getreten? So, ich glaube, ich muss jetzt mal da unten den Trank herstellen. Unten war das so ein... genau da. So, zum Glück hatten wir die Bären schon. Wir sollten auch nur einen besorgen. Ist egal.
Were you able to
Yes.
Give it to me. I'll take it. We must wait and be patient.
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know soon enough.
And if he
Come back tomorrow at the...
Very well.
See you soon.
Gut. Für euch vergeht keine Zeit, für mich schon.
Hello,
Da sind wir
soldier.
schon wieder.
How are you doing?
Better. A lot better. Are you the one who's...
I simply prepared the potion that she told me how to make. Could you tell me what happened during the attack?
I will try. They're not really memories I'm fond to bring back. We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel movement. It had been a couple of days when we heard sounds of fighting not far from our position. Men were screaming. In our own language. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Konstantin Katasak and his escort. Who were they fighting against?
Dozens of wild animals that seemed completely enraged and intent on devouring them. And there were flames.
Flames? Where were they coming from?
I don't know. My friends and all the soldiers fell one after the other. I didn't see everything. All was blood and confusion with beasts and but I thought I saw another islander. Big. He's the one who took the sickened man. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I was wounded and I passed out. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. Rebels. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I got up with difficulty and fled. I dragged myself here. And you know the rest.
I'm going to have to go and find these rebels.
You shouldn't do that. They killed all of my friends. You take a great risk.
That's enough. Rest now.
Yes, I'll have a word with your captain.
Okay. Jetzt ist wieder irgendwas abgebrochen. Ist jetzt irgendwas?
Thank you.
Please, I did nothing more than follow...
Did you learn what you needed to learn?
Yes. I was able to question your man. He and his company heard sound. My cousin's escort. A strange sort.
One of those rebels, they must have...
Don't
Bla 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 bla. So, sind wir nochmal in den Hauptdorf zurück, wo wir waren, wo wir nach Affa gesucht haben.
Hello. Renaigse, there you are again. What do you want?
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre of his escort. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that you were present on the battlefield.
You dare come here and accuse us of taking him? Let me throw him out this Renaigse and his Ilkderen. May they receive this punishment for their arrogance.
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm you. I only seek to find the man I consider to be my brother, as well as the man who was protecting him. Katasak, one of your greatest Donegad.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what happened to them. I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not know what happened to him. As for Katasach, and the worst, Tire, he died from his wounds. That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. The ground shook all the way to our homes. We went to sea, but we arrived too late. The last breath of Katasach had returned to the wind when we arrived there, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We could do no more. We carried the body of the Donegad and brought it here.
He gave his life to protect Constantine. May he rest in peace. This request might surprise you, but we would like to see him.
Why? What do you want to do with him, Renaigse?
Examine him, to understand what killed him. We were told that an island native was there, and that he likely led the attack.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach. You have been lied to, or they were mistaken.
That is the very reason I need to see his body. To understand.
You may see him. But if you desecrate his body, you will pay for this offense with your life.
Katasach ist tot. Mano. Ich mochte den Typen. Der war wenigstens noch nett. Was war das denn jetzt?
Katasach. Seeing the state of his body, I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Donegad, to have doubted your loyalty. And even more for what we are about to do. Now then. Let's see what story this corpse has to tell.
I can give a detailed examination of the corpse. It is a task that I have been trained to perform.
I gladly cede the privilege.
We note a great number of large, blunt force contusions, covering the entire surface of the victim's body. None of the wounds could be attributed to a blade or a spear, nor are there any visible bullet entry points. Practically every bone has been broken in multiple places. The rib cage was torn open and then collapsed. The open wound reveals multiple perforations of the vital organs. Here, the borders of the wounds have been singed. The flesh is blackened, exposed to a flame, no doubt. And we also note several patches of mineral residue. They seem oddly out of place in spite of the exotic insular origin of our deceased. I would be hard-pressed to tell you which of the wounds proved to be the fatal blow, but one thing is certain.
He was smashed violently by a giant rock that was without a doubt on fire.
Yes. These wounds are similar to those given by a heated cannon shot, though in a less regular fashion.
The dead soldiers we found had identical wounds. As crazy as this may sound, whoever is responsible for this attack is capable of wielding molten rock.
In any other circumstance, your conclusion would qualify you for an asylum. But I stand on the side of the improbable. The natives' powers reside outside the body of knowledge we possess.
I can't imagine an Adaig behaving like this. It is not their way. That they might attack careless hunters or warriors, true, but to attack Katasach, the power to call volcano fires, could only be that of a guardian. No simple man wields mountain fire.
We still don't really know who is actually behind this attack, nor what they want. Judging by the severity of these wounds, I fear the worst for Constantine.
All your experiments. You've learned so little. You've learned to fear. Your instincts should have been enough.
We had to at least try. Are you not even concerned? Or angered by what happened to Katasach?
We've grown accustomed to the loss of lives, your relentless attacks and incessant treacheries. All the same, there is truth in your words. This attack is out of place. Guardian and Donegad would never attack one another. There is a ritual that might help us. Anatalas Fair.
The Anatalas Fair? What is it? Tell me more.
It is a magical rite that only a person with a powerful bond to both spirits and nature can perform. It allows the Doneigad who chants it to relive the last moments of an Onol Manawi.
That would allow us to at least see the face of his assassin.
If what I have heard is true, yes. To my knowledge, only one Doneigad still living knows the ritual.
Let's ask her for her help then. She might be able to tell us what has become of Constantine.
You are quick to ask another to put her mind in danger for your own concerns. Imagine the pain of the wounds of another, shaking your body as the cold of death crushes your beating heart. This is what you must ask of the Tiernahach. It is the price she must pay for performing the ritual. When her companion was lost in battle, fighting against your own, she wanted to live that death beside her. Since that day, our Tiernahach Kadaktas has never breathed air with the same breath.
That would explain her distrust of the colonials.
You must make her see your purpose. It may be the only way you are going to learn the fate of your cousin.
Was muss ich jetzt machen? Okay. Naja, ich beende erstmal dieses Video damit und vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. Hinterlasst mal ein Like, ein Abo und einen Kommentar. Oder wie ihr gerade lustig seid und damit erstmal tschüss.